What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back with another video on the channel, and today it is Taco Tuesday, even though it's actually Monday for me. But since I actually upload my videos the day after I cook and eat, I'm doing it on Monday for the festivities of Taco Tuesday, even though I have no festivities whatsoever. And let me say this beforehand, I love each and every one of y'all. You can go ahead and slay me in the comments, because I know someone is going to, saying that I'm eating hard-shelled tacos and they are not real tacos. I hear you loud and clear. I understand you loud and clear. I really do get it. Traditional tacos? Nah. But what am I supposed to call them? If you can come up with another name for them, I promise you, I'll give them a new name and we can all live happily ever after. But when I go to Taco Bell and ask for a hard taco, this is what I get. I'm a fan of hard tacos. I'm sorry. I know they're not the traditional thing, and I will be the first one to say that. But I love them. They're like little nacho envelopes, and I just really, really like them. So, hold on. Pink lemonade. We're on a pink lemonade kick. You know I gotta pour it in my coldest water. I only got one ice cube, but it's cool because this actually still will keep it cold without having to use a million ice cubes. I usually like to use like 5 or 6 ice cubes, but I only had one because I forgot to actually put the ice cubes in the ice cube tray. It is what it is. We move. By the way, I always say it, the link is in the description if you want to get one yourself or if you want to do the giveaway. Both links will be down in the description. Anyway, let's see what we got today. Now, these tacos are not traditional tacos by any means whatsoever because I like to do things and keep it nice and healthy, quote unquote. I don't really like that word, but if you look real close, cauliflower rice is in this taco with cheese, ground turkey, got a lot of ground peppers and onions in there because I like to have my vegetables, I have to have them in there. The cheese is actually fat-free. I've got a chili, lime, sour cream, cilantro, and of course, fresh pico that I got from the deli, but they made it fresh, I promise you. But you know I had to add something to it just to bomb this up, just because, you know, this is how we do. Look at all that cheese about to fall too, I don't even care. Drip on me. That sounds horrible. Whatever, you're gonna just put that right there. All right. I've been cooking this whole time. I got cheese on my cleavage. It is what it is. Cheese is so good. All right, first bite. It's that moment of anticipation. You've been cooking, you've been smelling it. Let's do it. I put a lot of cheese in my tacos, and in no way is that a complaint. The fresh pico always has that nice dimension. The tacos I did put in the oven, but they've been sitting out for a while, so. Not going to be as crunchy as you would expect, just because I have to do my food styling. When you're creating content, you have to get used to the fact that you're going to be eating food that is not piping hot 90% of the time. Ask any content creator, we all go through it. It doesn't bother me, and it probably doesn't bother them either, but it's just the nature of the beast. That is a good taco though. Each taco is about 150 calories total. You go to Taco Bell, you order a harder soft taco. It's between 190 and 210, so it's a little bit higher. Definitely the fat in the Taco Bell taco is going to be a lot higher. A lot higher. But since I'm using extra lean ground turkey, cauliflower rice, fat-free sour cream, there's virtually no fat in these other than from the actual nacho envelope, which I thoroughly enjoy. I've made a lot of tacos for content, whether it's on here, on Instagram. Every single time, there will be a lot of people in the comments saying that's not a real taco. I get you, I do. I can't even get mad at you for saying it. But can you let me enjoy my taco? I talk about this all the time, but in this country, US, because of the melting pot of cultures, no, you're not getting a hard taco in Mexico, for sure. You won't get a lot of things that we eat here. Do they have Taco Bells in Mexico? I don't really think, but I mean, I'm not sure, so you can't quote me on that, but I definitely can say that tacos for me, the hard shell, not only do I enjoy them just because I like the crunch of the shell, I always ate tostadas too, like in high school, because I used to serve them with my school lunch. But growing up, when we had taco nights, my family, it was like one of my favorite things we ever did because we rarely, if ever, ate dinner as a family. Both my parents worked. I was involved in a lot of sports, as was my sister, so we were always coming and going. So we never got to link up. But once every month or so, maybe every 2 weeks, we would always have a taco night where we have a table. It was usually the coffee table in the living room. And what we would do is we would lay like all the shells out and all the fixings like everybody else does. But we would also play like board games. The Game of Life was a real popular one I liked. You know, Shoots and Ladders, any kind of board game. So it was just like a time where like my whole family was together, and I always remember having like the tacos. Obviously, they use a lot of full fat ingredients and lots of sour cream, which I haven't had regular sour cream homemade stuff in ages. But this pico was unreal. I got it from the Stop and Shop. What I usually do with certain things that I don't want to take the time to make, but I like fresh, is I'll go to the deli. A lot of times they have fresh pico. Even with vegetables, I'll buy them pre-chopped, like Brussels sprouts, you know, broccoli, cleaned already, because I just don't really feel like doing it myself. That pico is really good. It's got pineapple in it. It's like pineapple salsa, but it's also got habaneros in it, so it's like really hot and really sweet at the same time. I gotta put some more on there. Where's pico going? Smell like that. What are we saying? It's really more like fresh salsa than actual pico. It says pico on the jar, but like, looking at it doesn't look like pico at all. But I definitely get that sweet and that heat. Two of my favorite combinations. Salty sweet, sweet and heat. And I'm not a sweet food eater, but somehow in my food combos, I like to have sweet in my food. As far as savory goes, I know it makes no sense. I know, that a lot of things I do are kind of like, what's wrong with this dude? And I get it. But one of the things that I take pride in, to be honest, is it's my OCD kicking in. Feel these crumbs. Drives me kind of nuts. But one of the things I do take pride in, and I've always been this way, is I'm not necessarily the type of person. Let me get a. No, I got my wet wipes. I'm not the type of person that really cares about doing something different. I don't really care what people think of me in that sense. I care more about my character as a person, yes. If someone that I know personally says something about my character, of course that will bother me. If you don't know me, like, if you've never sat here and listened to full things like this where I'm just kind of low-key and chilling, and you kind of just look at, like, you know, a 60-second video on Instagram, or skim through something real quick, I might not say something all the time that people are going to like what I say, but I always have good intentions. And I always don't mind being different. Not to say that I never follow trends, but if I like something, I'm not afraid to say that I like it. You know, if I'm gonna wear, I wear a chef's apron while I'm eating. It's just, and people think it's weird. I used to not wear shirts at all, but on the tube, you know, we got the terms of service and the torso thing. Sometimes you get like flagged, and it happened on Instagram a few times. So it is what it is. I've said this before. I wear really. This sounds so sus. I don't care. I wear really small shorts. I work out a lot. I have big quads. I show them off. And my shorts look like, you know, like the high school track shorts. Like, I wear those in the summer. You know? And the funny thing is, I used to wear them to the gym. You get some people being like, oh, what do you got on your wife's shorts? I'm not married, but, you know, they're just being funny. And I'm just going to dip that right in there. Look at this. Look at the cheese. That's all you need in life is a cheesy taco. And they're making fun of me. And I'm like, but I work out, and at least I get to show them off. You know, just kind of like, you know, jab back. If people joke with me and stuff like that, I always give them a little rip back. Even you guys, like some people, if I can tell that you're just kind of like busting my chops. Like, I don't mind that stuff. I'll troll you back as long as you can take it. That's cool. So my like people I know in the gym and stuff, they'll troll me. I'll troll them back. Slowly but surely, I started noticing other gym goers wearing tiny shorts. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, what happened? You stole them from my closet? And one dude was like, I bought them because you bought them, you know? My whole point is, don't be afraid to be you. You know, it's better to be you than fake. I might not do things that, you know, people agree with all the time. But like I said, I always have good intentions, and I'm never afraid to be called weird. You know, I enjoy being a nerd. I love Star Wars. You know, I'm still a gamer, and I'm 30. You know what I mean? Like, but if you'd have told me that I could eat on camera and vibe with you guys 10 years ago, I'd be like, why would someone do that? And it's something that I truly enjoy now. Even though it's a strange concept, and I never thought my big appetite would ever mean anything. But just be you. I know a lot of times on social media, that I swear to God, you could drink this. This is like, oh, it does say fresh salsa. Thought I got pico. It says pico on the top. You know they have that little barcode when you get the deli? But it says salsa here. They probably misput the thing. I knew it wasn't pico. I'm calling it pico. I know somebody's gonna slay me too. Pico. I know. Y'all love to do that. It makes me laugh though. Y'all keep me on my toes. You know, sometimes I'll like misspell things in the comments or in the captions, and people are like, yo, you misspelled this. What are you, stupid or something? I'm just like, you know, a lot of times I write the captions while I'm like doing cardio or running, and it is what it is. I take L's. Don't be afraid to take the L. And definitely don't be afraid to be different. Big one people get me on all the time is a lip ring. I'll tell you the story of lip ring. I have always loved tattoos, and to a certain extent, I've liked piercings my whole life. Like, I used to draw on myself as a kid in like class with the pen. I'm sure a lot of y'all did that with the Sharpies and whatever have you. I did it a few years ago when I wanted to get this tattoo, which I have here. I wanted to get it on my chest. So, for about 4 to 6 months, I drew it on my chest to see if I liked it. When it came said and done, I already had a tattoo there. I didn't want to go over it. So I put it on my hand. And I know a lot of times now, because of what I do, people see my hands more. So I put it there because it's more prominent. But I've always loved that. Even the piercings and stuff, you know. I never in a million years thought I would get a lip ring. It was probably I think it was the last piercing I got. But when I was 17, 17, high school, I pierced my eyebrow. Of course, I got called weird for it, which I get. You don't really see people like me, football player, whatever, wearing lip rings or eyebrow rings. I have people call me Cisco. I never cared because I liked it, so it was what it was. When I was 18, I got my tongue pierced. I already know what people think about that. True story. Senior year of college, I was a captain on my football team. Actually, one of my, other than playing a national championship, one of my proudest achievements, because the players, your team selects the captains. And I had, I don't try to be a leader, but for them to see me as that, I've always been like humbled by it. But anyway, obviously in football, captains go out for the coin toss. Call heads or tails, you want to receive, whatever. We were playing, I want to say, Western Illinois. I think it was. And you have your mouthpiece out, your helmet is on, but you can still see whatever. So the opposition player looks at me and he's like, "Man, what you got a tongue ring? What's wrong with you, boy?" In the middle of the game, we won like 47-5 or 7 or whatever. Called me out in the middle of the game. Everybody started laughing, the whole team. Like his captains and mine, because they gave me crap for it too. My own teammates did. I never took it out. My teammates used to get, I told the story before, one of my closest friends made a phony vibrating tongue ring ad and posted it all over the locker room and on Facebook just to give me crap. I was always different, man. Like, I know what people think when they say stuff like that or whatever. Like, even the lip ring. I got my lip ring when I finished playing football when I was in grad school. The only reason I got it, I don't know. I was eating Chinese food in the mall. The mall in Iowa was literally like 4 stores and like 2 restaurants. So we're eating. There's a tattoo place. I'm sorry. This probably was really gross. There's a tattoo place and a piercing place. I feel it. It's there right now. Is it gone? If not, we just have to write it out. Right next to the Chinese food place. I'm eating, and I'm like, yo, I want to get a piercing. And my roommate at the time, we both acted the same. I was a lot cooler back then. I talked differently. I said words that I don't use now. Just because, I feel like I'm older, I speak a little more professionally because I don't need to be cool anymore. Like, I don't care about this stuff. Back then, I was still talking that way. But whatever. But my style, I was all over the place. I was like, yo, I'm going to get a lip ring. He's like, what? Look at me like I was crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. He's like, bro, what's wrong with you, man? I'm like, I don't know. I just went and got it. That same year, Lil Wayne got a lip ring. After me. I'm not saying that he copied me. You don't know who the hell I am, right? But all of a sudden, people were like, all of a sudden the girl's like, oh my God, he's got a lip ring like Lil Wayne, right? And the dude's like, oh, all right. Now they're mad. That same year, within the same week, I got, you can't really see it, but I have a piercing right here. It's a dermal. I have no idea why I got it. Same idea, Chinese food. But I still get crap from people in comments and whatever. I know it's on my face. It doesn't bother me. In fact, some women be like, oh, you be cute without the lip ring. And some women are like, oh, you're cute because of the lip ring. I'm just me, man. I'm not afraid to be me. Don't be afraid to be you. You want to dress like a 2004 emo kid. You want to wear skinny jeans. You want to wear baggy jeans. You want to wear Timberlands. You want to wear Ashton Kutcher trucker hats from 2003. Do it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, be you. And I think a lot of times, people will gravitate towards you because it takes a lot to be like, I'm me, unapologetically. In this age of social media, a lot of times things is like a highlight reel. It's what people put out there, what they want their perception to be, They want people to think that they're out clubbing all the time, or they got all this money, or they just live this great life. It's your highlight reel. Nobody wants to see the other side of the game. They don't want to see, you got a 200 credit score. Your girlfriend just dumped you. You're actually really, really sad. I do appreciate a lot. Some people aren't afraid to show the realness. I have more respect for somebody that's like, I'm broke. I know people personally that are broke. You would never know by looking at social media. They got new stuff every day. But then I talk to them, you know, talk to her, him, whatever, and they're like, bro, I just can't seem to get ahead. I don't got no money. You see what I'm saying? But you're out here posting Drake quotes in your new outfit with your new car and your you know, popping bottles at the club. Like, what is you doing? Just be you. Because you know what you're gonna attract? Phony people, or people that only like you because of that crap. I never throw shade at somebody for doing anything like that. I'm just telling you, sometimes your energy will bring the type of attention you might not need or want. You know? I had a friend, associate. That salsa, bro. I don't know what that's doing, and we're not wasting that, because I'm going to take the rest of this and put it in something. Man. But he was always posting. This is probably maybe probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. Posting pictures of his car, of his money, in the club with bottles. So then he's meeting women. And long story short, at the end he ends up sad because they're not talking anymore, because he didn't want to spend that money. And he's like, I don't get why all these people are trying to use me, because that's what you put out there. Don't put that energy out there. It's a shame that that's what happens and you attract, because it shouldn't be that way. But there are plenty of bad people out there who are looking to take advantage of anyone. You know, if you're a person that posts attention-seeking behavior with no rhyme or reason behind it, you know, if you're trying to post things like you're Kylie Jenner, but you're not living that life, but you know, you're posting content that suggests, you're gonna get these dudes that like are the wrong kind of men. And the same thing goes for men. If you're gonna post stuff flashing money or wealth or even your body a lot without depth to it, with anything, you know, if you're a person who's doing fitness oriented stuff and you're posting body, whole different story. But if you're just an average Joe and you're just posting shirtless selfies in the mirror, you might get a lot of women that are just there because you have a nice body, but they don't care what you have to say. You get what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way. I don't agree with how, but that's just kind of like messed up how the world is. It's kind of why I've enjoyed doing these videos, because I think it gives people a better idea of who I am. Not 100%, but in the beginning, I was posting 60-second videos on Instagram, no shirt on, with food. And it attracted the wrong kind of people, in a sense. You know, I don't have an issue showing people who I am. You know, so I don't want to say this advice. You can take it or leave it, but at least try to do more things outside of that. You know, if that's the attention you get, don't feed into that part of it, because there's still good people within the cracks, and you got to try to just weed them out. That same dude, I told him, I was like, listen, that stuff, disposable stuff that depreciates in value, doesn't mean anything. People who truly are wealthy, They don't show extravagant stuff. They don't show extravagant buys. They don't even make extravagant buys. Everybody knows who Jeff Bezos is, right? He's the richest man in the world. Like, in a landslide at this point. And I was watching a video of him from like early 2000s, late 90s. Oh, that's so good. Now, he wasn't the richest man in the world at this point. But he was still worth like, 10 billion, 11 billion, something like that. And he's doing an interview in a car. He's driving his car. And he had the interviewer on the passenger side, holding like a handheld camera. And the interviewer was shocked. He said, Jeff, aren't you worth like $10 billion? And he's like, yeah, casually. He said, yeah. And he goes, then what's with the car? Then he showed a picture of his car. It was 2001. He was driving an early 90s, like a 92 Honda Civic. Understand, that car couldn't be worth more than $2,000, $3,000 in mint condition at that point. And here's this guy worth $10 billion driving around in a 92 Civic. When I was younger, I made stupid buys like that. Like, I would buy cars outside. What's the point? What's the point of buying all them cars and stuff? Unless it has resale value, you're throwing money down a rat hole. And I guess I learned that when I got older. Like, I used to have my car was nicer when I had a worse lifestyle than now. I'm about to get like just a car, A to B type. I don't care if it's a smart car. I've had clients in my job in the personal training industry, same thing. Woman drives around, she told me, she said, I bought a Kia. I bought it for $2,000 cash. I've had it for 12 years. She's like, that's why I can afford you. She wasn't paying a small amount of money. We trained like every day. Like you know how much training costs. Like, especially, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but somebody who is a master trainer. I have qualifications. I don't like to talk about all that stuff because I think it's just who cares, but I'm not cheap. And she was training, and she was like, that's why I can afford you. And it doesn't even put a dent. Not a dent. She's like, yeah, no, I paid off my daughter's college debt. Like, still have bread in the bank. Because she didn't live outside of her means. Like, that's the dream for me. It changed my perspective on everything. Like, especially with 2020 and how things have gone down. I don't buy anything I don't need to buy anymore. I buy food. Obviously, this is, you guys realize it. Like, YouTubers, when they buy things, it's an investment because you're going to see a return on the investment as time goes on. Right now, some of the meals I might lose a little on, but I'm going to eat anyway. But I'm getting to the point, thanks to you guys that watch, that I'm at least able to cover my food, which is great because I wasn't before for years. So now I look at it completely differently, where I don't buy anything. I have a budget. This is my budget. I don't go away from it. I mean, certain things, yes, I still will buy. I'm getting a new Xbox, but I cut out other stuff in order to do that, to make sure that I'm still keeping that budget intact, if you get what I'm saying. I don't buy drinks at the bar. I don't do any of that stuff. For what? I used to. I spent $500 a weekend 5 or 6 years ago. In a night. Bottle service. 2-bottle minimum. At least $500. Without the tip, without all the other stuff, just the bottles. Bottle service. $500. For what? Half the time we even finish them. So I can say that I did it? You know what I mean? So, anybody who's watching this was a little younger. Main thing I was trying to get to today, be yourself. Don't live outside your means. And even if you have means, live like you're broke. Save it, invest it, do something with it. And as far as the social media goes, be who you are. I would rather be loved or liked or even disliked for being who I am than to be loved for someone that I'm not. So I know there's people out there who don't like me. They're not afraid to tell me. But I've never directly done anything to anybody. I'm just being me. And if I'm happy, I know that pisses some people off. And hey, like I can't help that. I would love to sit down and talk to you. See what's wrong. Because usually people that like to do that kind of stuff have their own internal stuff. I mean, that's fine with me, you know, but I'm still me. This is who I am. You see me off camera, this is who I am. This is not something where I've got to be like, okay, turn on the nah. This is me. I'm always preaching stuff. I'm always talking. I'm always eating. This is me. The only things you don't see is I work out a lot, and I still am a gamer. I haven't been playing as much because, you know, I'm doing more stuff with my content. But when FIFA 21 drops, I will start on Twitch. There'll be links on YouTube and Instagram if you're coming from there. You know, just to kind of turn it into content because I'm doing it anyway. Like I'm a gamer, so that'll be in the works. But I just want to stop by and vibe with y'all. Somehow it still lasted 30 minutes, even though I had 12 tacos, which is light work for me. Like I'm not even remotely full. But learn from some of the mistakes that I made, my friends made, whatever. Put you on some game. Don't live outside your means. Don't buy $200 Jordans unless you intend to flip them. Don't just buy them unless you intend to eventually sell them one day. Don't spend $600 a month on a lease just to say that you're driving around in a BMW or, you know, an expensive car. It's so pointless. So pointless. You'll see, especially if you're in your 20s or your teens, even your 30s, you'll see just by doing that how much extra money you'll have to do the things that really mean something, the things that you really want to do, instead of just so you can drive. And no matter how nice, and I've had nice cars, no matter how nice your car is, after 5 or 6 months, you won't even care. You won't care. It's eventually just going to be a vessel for you to get around in. Same thing with your shoes and your t-shirts and your sweatpants. Look at Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, even Jay-Z to this point. Like, he doesn't walk around in his flashy chains, and he don't do all that stuff anymore. I'm telling you. Like, but he has paintings that he can resell for thousands and upon thousands or hundreds of thousands. Look it up. Anyway, it's been your boy King Straz. That was a weird convo, but it's just been that kind of day for me. You know, up and down, peaks and valleys. We got a lot of moves coming, content-wise. I've got a lot of moves coming, real-life business-wise. But I want to make this just as much as that. So I'm trying to juggle both, and it's a grind, and I'm tired as hell. But I'm here because I love y'all and I love vibing. So that's gonna be it for today. There will be more content tomorrow that I can promise you. Where every day from here on out. Anyway, I'm out. I love y'all. Hand signs made it. YouTube.